I'm Hanokh,
And I'm Lacandor.
and this is
Comic book night.
indeed
Yes, very much so.
very much so. So, another week, another batch of comic books, and this week we actually have like more than 10. One,
Yeah, I didn't even count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15?
Sure.
15? That
I
sounds
still
good.
I still didn't count.
Count with me. 1, 2.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15. No wonder why it took me so long to read them.
I can count. All right. and with that revelation,
uh, and now for the news.
best segue ever.
All right, so our first news article was...
There's too much text with this news article.
Okay, I'll cover it then.
Okay.
So Warner Brothers, who owns DC, was partnered with Legendary, who did the Batman movies and the new Superman movie and the 300 movies and the Hangover movies and the new Pacific Rim movie.
Let me go down there to. Oh, they skipped out on Green Lantern. I see. There's a note there.
Yes, they did not do the Green Lantern movie. They got to pick and choose which films they worked on.
It's just
But
Ryan
anyways,
Reynolds in it.
so yeah, they've split. Legendary is moving on to try to become a full-fledged production company since it owns things like Harry Potter, apparently.
But
And
what else could they do with that? I mean, they've done. Oh, I see. They're
well,
branching into
because
television.
they have money to be
Oh,
their own company.
good for them.
And I don't know what that's going to do for the superhero movies though, because Legendary had a very hands-on producer who was involved with all the good hero movies, and the one bad hero movie, Green Lantern, they weren't involved with. So it makes me worried. But apparently, Warner Brothers' old partner, Village Roadshow, just got $2 billion in backing.
Nice.
So they're going back to them.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't screw up my Superman or my Man of Steel movies. Although they were involved in Superman Returns, and that was a piece of crap. So
Now, what are you talking about? That was a great movie.
yeah, I know a dude who said it was one of the best movies he's ever seen.
Oh,
He's a
must be a
Superman
different.
fanboy.
So yeah, Superman Returns horrible. I think it could be good. Hopefully, as long as Christopher Nolan's involved in some capacity, there is hope.
Well, I
So,
also read that the head of DC Entertainment quit.
well, who's that?
But I was a
They
little
say,
confused by the article.
is that why it isn't in the list?
Yeah, because I couldn't make heads or tails of the article.
Oh, hold on.
Something about the head of DC Entertainment quitting and the next person, and he wasn't being replaced, and so the next person in line is just going to report directly to Warner Brothers now. Or maybe it was the guy who worked at
Yeah, I'm
Warner
seeing it's
Brothers.
on the beat. Comic culture. DC Entertainment's Diane Nelson has a new boss. WB CEO, whom we've been, yeah, some nonsense is going on here. Uh,
So it's making me a little worried because, DC Entertainment's been pretty good lately. Other
but I
than
don't know
the,
how. I mean, was this a good person in the business or bad? Did the website have like an opinion on their performance as in
it
their
was like
president?
2 paragraphs and it didn't make any sense. It was like it was
Well,
written in
if it was a big
Chinese.
if it was a big deal, then they would have everybody would be throwing a hissy fit. So we could just assume either they don't matter or people haven't realized what's going on yet, so they can't hissy fit yet. So I don't know.
Right.
All right, so next article we have here is Greg Pak and Aaron Cooter to take over Action Comics in November. Pak is the writer for Batman Superman #1. Takeover happens issue 25.
Yep,
Well,
they said Action Comics has kind of been up in the air since Grant Morrison's leaving Hero
right.
Comics.
I read this article. Yeah, I read this.
Um, and so this is the next big team they're bringing in. So
We'll get to Batman and Superman #1, but I saw lots of positive things in it this week. I had some criticisms for it, but so I'm not too upset about this. Action Comics though has been, it shook off the curse of Grant Morrison. I'm sure that's a blasphemous statement to some people, but man, it sucked under Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
There's just no way about it. It was a cluster. So yeah, what else we
Yeah.
got here? What's this Lego Batman the movie?
Okay. Okay. I just want to talk a little bit about it.
Go ahead.
Lego Batman the movie came out last week, and it is basically the cutscenes from Lego Batman 2 pieced together. And I mean, they're not pieced together. They made a fluid movie, but it's just
They
that.
added extra scenes to
Yeah, but
compensate to compensate for the levels or something that you played.
there wasn't. It was the same story. I've played Lego Batman 2. It
Okay.
was the same story.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm just
How did
saying it was okay.
did you
It,
prefer it as a game or as the movie?
yeah, because I had played the game, it felt to me like it had lost some of the awesomeness that is playing with Legos.
Mhm. I've heard the Lego DC game series has been quite good.
It is. They're awesome. What's really funny is that the Star Wars Lego, not that that has anything to do with DC, but the Star Wars Lego games tell a different version of the stupid first trilogy,
Is it superior?
and it's superior.
Like like much superior or just a little bit?
Yes, like episode 1, 2, and 3 done through the Lego game is something I would watch
Huh.
versus what Lucas put out.
I
So
wonder if Lucas had no hand in it or something.
no, he didn't. Of course, that's done now since Lucas Games is done. So
Right. Well, Lucas finally cashed out.
yes, finally. But not to go on a rant, but Disney should do okay with the new Star Wars movies. I mean, they put J.J. Abrams in charge of the movies, so
Well,
he
there's something
does.
I don't think. Well, I don't follow Marvel that closely, but they've owned Marvel for a while now, and they seem to not have screwed that up yet. So
Well,
have they?
I don't know. The
I mean, we're talking
comics.
about. I mean, I'm still pissed about Earth's Mightiest Heroes being canceled for the other show. I watched an episode of it. It is a subpar product.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what Disney's done is canceled everything
That's
that
good that exists.
that was good that exists. Like Clone Wars bought it, and Earth's Mightiest Heroes bought it, and those were the two
Ugh.
things I cared about. So
Actually, you know what? I revised my previous statement. Well, they haven't ruined the comics yet, so
that's. But see, I don't know. Marvel's like DC, right?
right.
They're both either good or terrible or up and down, and it doesn't really matter.
And they cycle through the same writers as they get fed up and quit one company and move to the other.
Pretty much. So,
It's, uh,
but yeah, so I just wanted to say that, if you like Lego Batman, the game, you might like Lego Batman, the movie. If you have a little kid who likes Batman, it's definitely worth watching. It was fun. And then the last news article was Hello Kitty is getting a new line of DC merchandise. So their little cats are going to be dressed up as DC heroes. I just thought that was funny.
I'm looking at the picture. It made me smile a little bit. I got like a half smile out of it.
Hello Kitty's not my thing, so
I hope not.
um,
Not that there's
although,
anything wrong with that.
although they do have Hello Kitty adult beverages now, so
Seriously?
yeah, it cracks me up seeing that stuff. But they have like Hello Kitty wine, Hello
Oh man.
Kitty, Hello Kitty hotels, Hello Kitty
Oh,
restaurants.
you take the girl to a Hello Kitty restaurant.
I
Get her some Hello Kitty wine.
I don't know. Hello Kitty's not my thing, so
Uh,
yeah, I think that's it for the news. Unless you had something else.
that's about it. It wasn't really very action packed for the news this week.
Well,
Um,
I tried to go to a different site and I couldn't understand their news articles, so I gave up.
I pretty much just float between Comics Alliance and Comic Book Resources. Sometimes Bleeding Cool, I think, is the other one that I like to go to every once in a while. But
Uh,
Comics Alliance got a new site redesign. I don't know how if I like it.
it still had the DC Marvel drop-down list where I could click on DC and just get DC news, so it works for me.
They did? I don't even see that.
Comics Alliance.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, it's more convenient now.
Well, that's the way it's
Oh,
always been for me.
oh, well. Yep, all right, so let's just jump right into it. Time to talk about comic books.
Time to talk about the comic books. All right, so our first comic is All-Star Western.
I liked it a lot. No?
I
My,
was
my
I was being confused for a second. Yes, I didn't like it a lot. It was good.
It's leading to a new story. I really enjoy, for some reason, the team up of Jonah Hex and Booster Gold.
Yeah, well, Booster Gold's lost in time again, so
He might as well. Who's that? What, he's gonna have to quantum leap now to get back.
yes, Scott Bakula. That's who they should get to play him in the live action show. That would be awesome.
That
I'm
would be
totally
nice.
right in Sci-Fi Channel. Reboot Quantum Leap, only this time it's Booster Gold.
That'd be pretty awesome. Actually, I'd watch that. I've seen
Uh,
this.
and then he can battle that giant shark, octopus, whale creature that I read about. I think I told you about that. Oh, that was in our, we talked about it in our review a
That
couple
was
weeks
last week. The shark, octopus, whale creature, wasn't it?
ago. I don't know if it was last week or the week before or something. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it was last week. You got
It all
angry about that. It
blurred.
was last week. It was
I
in.
didn't get angry about it. It was just funny.
I thought you didn't like it.
No, that's what somebody said because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. He's gonna have to fight bad CGI.
Oh, yeah, okay. But yeah, so actual comic talk now. Yeah, so they cliffhanger from last week where they're last month where they're being chased by these robbers and they escape almost, but they get thrown off a cliff, and then the time vortex bubble thing takes them. I really enjoyed the 2-page spread of Jonah Hex about to choke the life out of Booster Gold for killing him. His line
I
is, "Your stupid gold got us killed," and all you get is choking noises from Booster Gold.
I thought he was gonna shoot him in the face when Booster said we have to hold on to each other.
Yeah, we're in the time vortex. Then he punched him and left him alone. You lunatic. I said, hold on, Hex. Says, he says he's going to get him for this. And he's sent into normal time. It looks like it's...
Future time.
Is it future time?
It's
I
gotta
saw
be.
some steampunk goggles.
Those are the mutants from. Those are the mutants from
Dark
the Dark
Knight.
Knight Returns.
Oh, yeah, it is. But I thought they were already in existence. But it looks like the Batwing is the new Batwing.
Right. But that doesn't mean he. I mean, he's a kid, but he could be an older Batwing.
Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But he fights Batwing and gets taken down, and then he is locked in Arkham Asylum.
I don't know what you call those bullets, but that's not happening again. Those cops shooting with tasers.
Tasers, yeah. I love how he actually was able to go for a little while toe-to-toe with Batwing in the Batsuit.
Yeah.
He even has to acknowledge how good of a fighter he is.
Yeah, then he ends up in Arkham, so that was, we'll have to see where that goes.
And then what needs to be its own ongoing comic was the backup about, like 15th century or whatever, Stormwatch was awesome. I really love the conclusion to that story.
How about 19th century Stormwatch?
Oh, that's right, because yeah, she was the spirit of the 19th century, right?
15th century. That's Christopher Columbus era.
Listen, isn't that when Demon Knights is supposed to be taking place?
Yes, I believe so.
Hey, wait, 15th century is not Christopher Columbus.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, 1472.
1492.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah.
Touche, you win this round.
But yeah, they said it was going to be the last, or it's the end of the Stormwatch backup.
It was pretty good. He sacrificed the virginal Dr. 13.
They defeated the vampire queen.
Because his blood was laced with garlic due to his eye. I love how he refuses to acknowledge that a vampire exploded in front of his eyes.
That was hilarious. I've been testing a garlic-based poison. I've been drinking a lot of garlic serum.
And Adam had no idea. he was ready to let him get killed for the crystal skulls.
And then they strip him naked after it because they're so mad at him and make him walk behind the horses.
And then he gets propositioned by Dr. 13, gets propositioned to lose his V card from Jenny Freedom.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
It was
pretty
funny.
good. It was really funny. I really enjoyed it. I wish this was an ongoing series. I really enjoyed that. These characters.
Yes.
I also love the scene where it's right before Jenny Freedom blasts him and strips him. Where Dr. 13 is so angry that he puts up his fists for fisticuffs with Adam, and you can see his little sleeves pushed back.
Yes.
He's like in the 18th century boxer pose.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that. I wanted to watch him.
By 18th, you mean 19th?
Right. 1800s, whatever. All right, we're done with centuries.
All right. Next. What?
Hold on. We forgot the most important thing.
Oh, I don't even remember what the stupid news thing.
It was just about I think this is like the prelude.
I remember it was a countdown of something.
Yeah, it was a prelude to Forever Evil and the Trinity War. They said that there's a bunch of new mantas, which sounds awesome.
Oh yeah.
Daughter.
That looked dumb.
I'm hoping the mantas are awesome. Then
they're not real.
I want it to be real. I love Black Manta in the reboot. Reverse Flash gets a mention. Relic, which is the new big bad for Kyle Rayner and the Guardians of the Universe. Sounds like
Joker's daughter.
Joker's daughter was mentioned, right? I said that. And then little blip that's going to be a prelude to the Trinity War.
Yeah, but they did. The one guy's like, what would happen if Black Manta showed up with a green manta and a blue manta and a super manta?
And formed a gang. And then so, now here's what it confused me. Now if we believe the rumors that the tensions between the Justice League and Justice League of America could break out into war between the groups at any moment, I have not seen that tension other than Amanda Waller scheming.
Yeah, and I also was a little confused by just a few short years ago, the world was changed forever. Aliens attacked, Atlantis attacked, the Joker attacked, and then down in the bottom panel, the guy's like, now they're still recovering from the battles with Atlantis.
Yeah, I think that was just poor word choice.
Well, I expect that from those stupid things.
Right. So, all right. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the comic. And then we move on to one. I actually didn't enjoy Aquaman as much as I usually do, but it's only because it's the our next comic's Aquaman. But I didn't enjoy it as much as I usually do because it's like kind of like building up to the next story arc, or it's bridging. It's like a bridge right now.
I totally disagree.
Really?
Aquaman was awesome. Aquaman was awesome. They start off with Aquaman going after the scavenger, and he slams into that sub and throws it up out of the water. It was awesome.
Oh, wait, I forgot about that part.
And then Mara and that dude who said she was his wife argue over the fact that that never happened.
That she was just betrothed or something. Or
and then the first king of Atlantis shows up and freezes them all. And then Aquaman gets there to talk to him. And sees all the people frozen, and then the scavenger is hovering over the city with the subs. How is that not exciting?
Oh, you're right. I forgot the scavenger part. I was just focusing on the Mara. You're right. That was really awesome.
The Mara part was like 3 pages.
Aquaman was the first comic I read this week. Of 14. Okay, apologies. Okay, it was more awesome. I'm really looking forward to next month still, though, because this is when everything hits the fan.
Well, yes.
Battle in Atlantis. You got, there's a lot of tension built up in the next comic. Aquaman hasn't disappointed, so I'm assuming the payoff is going to be glorious.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed that. Anything else interesting? I thought it was interesting how he sent the body back and planted the tracking thing so he could find him.
Yeah. Scavenger.
So let's see here. That's about it, really, with Aquaman. I don't know. Anything else that's worth adding?
That was all I wrote down.
Next comic. I should probably start writing things down again. Was that
Next
What's the...
comic is Batman Superman #1.
Okay, I got opinions on this one.
Yeah, me too.
So, opening, really good. I enjoyed the opening. So this is a new Batman and Superman team up comic. The opening has Clark Kent in Gotham, remarking about his past. I like the Superman in this comic, first of all. I don't know if you share that opinion or not, but I enjoyed the Superman in this comic, and I also enjoyed how he was able to spot Bruce Wayne and pretend to be a drunk really quickly.
Yeah.
You agree or disagree or?
I'm holding off my opinions.
Oh, okay. So then I'll go through the rest of this. So then I enjoy the interaction with them where Bruce gets made, but he doesn't really flinch at all. I enjoy the artwork for this. The backgrounds are a little bit, they got the muted tones, but I see that they're going for that feel for Gotham. I like the two-page spread where the first half is kind of Superman's mindset, and then the second half of the thing is Batman's.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bad guy was just a little bit weird in this one. It's some kind of mystical demon thing.
No idea.
That possessed Catwoman. And so Batman's taking him down, and Batman gets a little vicious, and then Superman comes in and starts beating up Batman. Batman, this is their first meeting, so this is like early Batman, and so he hasn't had time to prepare it yet. And then it cuts into some kind of weird, because I thought this is how they're supposed to have met. So,
yeah, it's not. Can't be.
but then but I can't be where they first met, because I thought this was supposed to be when they first met. Because then it cuts to some weird cut.
Whatever that demon did,
Yeah.
seems to have teleported an older Batman with a younger Superman to a different Smallville.
Right, and I did like the Batman Kryptonite Force field that Clark gave him the Kryptonite for. It's an automatic defense, as a Clark. You told me to be prepared, just in case. And he has no idea who Batman is, and then starts beating him up while possessed. And it is in the past because his father's still alive, so...
Yes.
It was a little confusing. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed the interactions, but the bad guy really messed things up. I don't know why they went this route with the weird demon bad guy, unless they're... No, it is, because look, the first panel of the first page says years ago, so it is their first meeting. Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is? I think that their first meeting is just supposed to be that Clark Kent thing.
Oh.
That's it.
That could be.
That's idiotic.
But it's the young Superman in jeans meeting an older Batman.
Right. So you see how it says years ago, and they
Right.
have a meeting, and then they go away, and then it goes to that two-page spread, and it says Crossworld, right?
Right.
So it's doing that, and then this is this is supposed to be present day or something right here.
Except that's not present day Superman.
Well,
Or that's not Earth Prime Superman.
Oh, that's right. Or it might. Yeah, you're right, because he is in the jeans still. So I don't know what's going on.
Because he doesn't know who Batman is.
Yeah, something's going. I don't know. It's really wonky. What was and the solicitation for it doesn't really help. So, but I don't know. So what'd you think?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was probably my favorite comic this week. From the opening with Bruce Wayne is watching this kid getting picked on by a bully, and the kid's just about to fight back, and he makes a comment about how this moment is about to change the kid's life, and then Superman butts in, and then Bruce Wayne's like, great, now those bullies are going to come back and beat on him twice as hard tomorrow because he didn't stand up today. Way to go. And then okay, this is the one thing in the comic I have to criticize. The only thing that irritated me. How many people in the DC universe had their parents tragically killed? Seriously, every bad guy, every hero, their parents are tragically killed. I'm going to give you a hint, DC. Death of parents does not make you a hero.
Sure it does.
I understand It worked for Batman. But it doesn't need to be everybody else's backstory.
Sure it does.
Seriously, every major Batman villain that gets introduced, his parents were shot outside a theater, as far as I can tell.
Here's my question to you. So I agree, everything was awesome. My only real criticism was the bad guy. What did you think about that? You think it was just the confusingness of the timeline and stuff?
I was a little confused by the Batman-Superman interaction at the end there, but I didn't
Hmm.
have a problem with the bad guy. At least explained why Catwoman was acting the way she was.
Right.
She's been killing people, so I mean, it's a first issue. They haven't even said who that person is yet.
Right.
Um, but I really thought it was awesome. It epitomizes how I feel about Batman and Superman
I
Be-
definitely think they captured the
because
characters.
because like they've got the spot there where Batman's talking about Clark and he's like, that's what Kent can never understand. He wants answers, but sometimes there aren't any.
Aren't any? Right.
And then oh, I absolutely my favorite quote in this comic was, "That's the problem with children today. Not enough nightmares." That's what Bruce Wayne said. Catwoman's trying to kill this girl's father, and Batman shows up to stop her, and the girl's like, "Ooh, kitty," and then Batman's like, "That's the problem with kids today." But yeah, and then Batman is trying to stop Catwoman. The guy took home some robots from Wayne Tech because he's a Wayne Tech employee. I guess we should probably say that someone's killing Wayne
Wayne Tech employees in
employees
Metropolis.
in Metropolis, and so Batman goes to find out what's going on. He paid everybody to go home, like thousands of dollars, and just to go home for one night. And the one
No,
guy
no, no, no. To get out
to
of the city for
right
one
to
night.
leave the list city. I mean, and the one guy doesn't leave, and so Batman goes to his apartment. Catwoman's there attacking him. He goes in to stop Catwoman. The guy doesn't know who Batman is, so he goes to activate this prototype robot thing that he's got that he shouldn't have had. Batman overrides the
Right. Says
command,
controls. It goes catch the cat.
tells it to go after Catwoman, and just at that moment, Superman comes running in and goes, "There's a monster I can fight," and attacks Batman. And this is what
Nope.
Superman does every time.
Punches
He
first. Doesn't ask
he
questions.
never tries to figure out what's going on. Never tries. Not even
Well,
a,
we're
what's
assuming.
going on here? No. Wham! Bam! It's a monster. I
Well,
could
it
kill
looks
this.
in this case there might be a reason for that because like you said, he's not in this costume. It's a younger Superman, and he really doesn't know who Batman is.
Right. So he
So
sees a robot. I can understand that. Batman's dragging the guy away from the robot, and Superman attacks him.
the question is did he? I mean, I'm assuming he would have X-ray vision to assess the situation before running in. Well, no, I mean, I'm
No,
giving
I
him too
don't
much
believe
credit.
he does.
Just for all he knows, there's kryptonite over there. Just smashes in like a moron.
But yeah, so then like I said, at the end, whatever the thing is comes out of Catwoman. She's like, "Why am I in this town? I hate this place," which made me laugh. And then yeah, they've got like an older Batman, and he's calling Superman Clark, and Superman's like, "How do you know who I am?" And then he attacks
He's
Batman.
and then he still
Like,
keeps punching.
doesn't even
But
question, "Hey, you gave
but
me the
he's
kryptonite."
possessed.
Who's possessed?
Isn't Batman? I mean, isn't Batman? Isn't Superman possessed by the end of the comic by the same thing that Catwoman had?
I
I thought
don't
it.
believe so.
Yes, I think so. Let me look at his eyes here
Hold
because
on, let me.
yes. Oh no, maybe not. His eyes
No,
are red.
no, because he stops when his father comes out. He's mad because that's his heat ray vision because he just set
Oh,
the
because
tree on fire.
yeah, because he's in angry mode. You're right. You're right. I thought he was possessed. Well, the guy's there though at the very end, the demon thing. You know, he has
Yes,
the
it,
last
it
line.
it is there, whatever it is. But but I
What's it
mean, like
say?
they
Just
land,
perfect.
right? Boom! It explodes and they disappear.
You know
And
who it looks like? It looks like the Creeper, kind of, from Katana.
I don't know. It's really orange, whatever it is.
Hmm. It's
And
Carrot Man.
but they land, and then Batman's like, "Clark, what are you doing?" And he's like, "How do you know my name?"
Hmm.
And he's like, "What did you do to me? You're not well, Clark. Kryptonite, you're poisoning me." And he's like, "It's a shield. You told me to use it if you ever went crazy, and you've apparently gone crazy. And why are you wearing jeans?" And then something's wrong with it, and so Batman goes to shut it off, and apparently Superman crushes it. And he's like, "Well, I was about to deactivate it, but that works too. Now you need to rest. You've been weakened. Good. That means I don't have to hold back." And he just starts punching again. So someone you don't recognize is calling you by your name when you're in your secret identity, and you just go ahead and start punching without
Um,
asking questions?
so got some clarification here. So I decided, well, maybe CBR, Comic Book Resources, has reviewed the comic and using their infinite pool of comic book knowledge that we don't have, figured this mess out. Apparently the battle,
Yeah.
apparently the battle, like that split page, ignore it. Because apparently the battle, this is their first meetup. It really is their first meetup. So it is still years ago. So that's why.
So
Um,
it would be Superman's first meeting with
This is what it
Batman.
says. Is it given? It says he says uses the tried and true trick of a dual narrative throughout the issue, but does so for great effect, showing readers each character's appraisal of a situation that might not be immediately apparent.
That
So he
makes
shows
even
it.
that makes
Given the situation for the two heroes' initial meeting costume makes it perfectly plausible that Superman's first assumption upon meeting Batman was that he wasn't a hero at all, but instead a criminal. A lot has been said for the formulaic approach of hero fighting due to some misunderstanding before coming together. Pack uses this play, but gives the two a legitimate reason to face off, avoiding any kind of the usual contrived scenario and taking full advantage of a new canvas that the New 52 presents. The story is straightforward enough. He says one of Batman's arch foes acts somewhat out of character. Oh, that's Catwoman.
that's Catwoman.
It's pretty clear that someone's strange afoot when another villain makes his appearance while the story changes course with some odd developments. The Batman featured of the later part of the story is deliberately altered. And while it's an interesting twist and easy enough to guess the nature of it, it complicates the story of this first encounter. While the unexpected isn't necessary. So they don't understand either. Never mind. I thought they had it figured out. They don't get it either. All right. So overall, we both really like Batman Superman.
So that can't be Batman and Superman's first meeting.
They're saying it is, but I think
It was
what it
already done.
No, I think it was their first meeting, but then older Batman.
Are you
I
leaving?
think because in their first, because before.
Would you like to come back to the microphone?
Yeah, I had to close the door. Sorry.
But
So I was just
see,
gonna shout across the room.
they already did their first meeting in Justice League.
No, I think they already knew each other before that in Justice League #1.
Then why did Superman attack without any warning? Is
Because
that
they
just
were
his
all.
thing? He just attacks Batman every time he sees him now?
Maybe that's how he says hello. Did you ever think of that?
Because you
No.
remember it
Okay,
was
so,
Batman
uh,
first meets Green Lantern and they go to the rooftop and Superman attacks him?
okay, we have to move past this. But one last thing is, here's how I see the narrative going.
No, I have to.
Uh, well, we're already almost. Oh wait, no, wait, I don't know when we started recording. Well, what's my little thing you say? How much? We're doing okay. Are we doing okay? I guess we're doing okay. It doesn't even tell me, but we'll pretend we are.
I mean, we're almost done anyways with this, but
Right. Okay. So here's how I see the narrative, at least. Very beginning, it says years ago. So that's like
Right.
their first kind of meeting in non-superhero.
I can't believe it.
Apparently, it's years ago. That's with Batman and Bruce.
But the
Clark.
first episode of Justice League was years ago too.
Yeah.
Or years in the future. I'm not sure when the Dark Side attack happened. So
Actually, in the very first one of Justice League, he's actually wearing his full costume.
yes,
He's
he
not
is.
wearing. But in Justice League, he's wearing his full costume, not the shorts and not the blue
Right.
jeans.
Right.
So that's a later Superman.
But they also act like it's the first time that Superman and Batman have seen each other.
Um,
So
like it was just this.
maybe
Oh.
we're just in a different continuity of
Oh God, you're right.
continuity of-
Right, it doesn't make sense. I'm trying to reconcile. They got to sort this mess out, but ignoring the Justice League continuity here.
Okay.
Okay, for the narrative, the way time seems to be moving in this comic. Very beginning, it's quote unquote their first meeting. Then we move to the whole storyline. That's younger Batman and younger Superman. He is deliberately. It isn't that he was time transplanted at that point. It just is because Batman doesn't know that Superman can fly in that comic. In the very
Right.
beginning.
Right,
So
right. No, I'm not confused by that. This part at the end
whatever
is
happens, but then whatever happens with the demon thing that time transports them, it apparently transported in an older Batman. For some
yes. That's what I
That's
said.
what seems to happen. Yeah, but that's a cluster. Excuse me. That is just a mess of a. And then how does it even work with it? You're right, because I'm looking. I actually just because I have the digital copy of it, and I decided, well, let me go into my what do you call it, Comixology, and bring it up. And so I just did, and they do act like it. That both of them I have never seen Superman before. At the very end of it, because, he appears for the first time, he blasts Green Lantern away.
And they don't know what he is.
Yeah, he does. He says, "You fool
And
us."
he doesn't ask anything. He just attacks. Because that's what Superman does.
Yeah, and so we just know, because Lantern goes in there. He says, "Lantern, it looks like he was just in some kind of fight. Evidence of fire. Like enough. Here's a plan." Green Lantern goes in there and restrains Superman for questioning. Batman waits here. He traps him in a little bubble. "I can handle this." Then, and so, then Superman goes, "So what can you do?" It doesn't. Hold on, Superman. He is, and he's dangerous. And it says, "Oh, hold on." Green Lantern asks him, "You've met Superman?" Batman goes, "No, but I've researched him. His power levels."
Yeah, see?
So in Justice League, he has not met him yet. So that's technically their first meeting. So figure that out, DC. fix your continuity, DC.
Fix your continuity.
Fix your continuity. It's only been 2 years, guys. It's only been 2 years.
I can't resist it. Fix your continuity, Dinnerbone.
No, very few people. No one's gonna get that.
That's okay. I get it.
It's okay. I did too. That's why I did it.
But yeah, all right. So it was really, really good, though.
But that time thing just gave me a headache.
Well, it didn't give me a headache.
I'm exaggerating.
The only thing I had problems with was Superman's parents killed in a car crash. That's his tragic backstory for his parents. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's the thing. So, all right. So moving past.
The next comic was Batman: The Dark Knight.
So this is coming off the finale of last month, where
it wasn't a finale. This is the conclusion of the Mad Hatter story.
Okay, the penultimate.
Okay.
The penultimate comic of the storyline, where because Batman developed a love interest and not only knew his secret identity, but when he was considering retiring, had to be killed viciously.
Yeah.
So literally dropped from a plane by the Mad Hatter and broke the Batman signal, dying instantly. And so now he goes into Batman Rage mode.
Yes.
Which was amazing.
Yeah, he he goes after the Mad Hatter and he's like, "I'm here. You're going down." And Mad Hatter drugs him. And then
he takes down everything he throws at him, and Mad Hatter drugs him, and then Batman freaks out for a panel or two, seeing his parents, seeing dead Natasha, but still is able to kick everybody's butt.
Well, that's because he punched the Cheshire Cat right in the face. Which turned out to be one of the Tweedledum dudes.
He says, "I love this panel." Mad Hatter's like, come on, I'm ready for you, Bat. I'm all doped up, or all dosed up." And Batman's like, "Yeah, so am I." And that look on Mad Hatter's face, he's like, "Oh, what am I getting myself into?" And then Batman takes him down and literally almost kills him, and then drowns him almost.
Yeah.
Until his conscience, in the form of Alfred, forces him to save his life.
Yeah, using the very cliched, "If you do this, you'll be the same as them."
Right? Can't do this, because then you're no different from them. And then Batman's head goes on ugh, fine. And I love when he comes back and he's covered in blood and he's like, "Don't worry, none of it's mine."
But yeah, then they show, some of it had to be because they show Alfred sewing him up.
Right.
But then they show 1 month later, and Gordon has taped the bat signal back together and turned it on.
Like, "Do we need him?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I love how Alfred's like, "Maybe you should consider." Nope. I'm gonna go help him now.
I've had a month off.
I've had a month off, and he lost Natasha and apparently Damian in the same continuity.
Aww.
Poor Batman.
And he thought Catwoman was dead for 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds. He never really believed she was dead.
He probably didn't even hear about it.
Well, no, because immediately they found out it was, well, we'll get to that comic.
Right.
Spoilers. So,
speaking of Catwoman, our next comic is Catwoman.
So this is taking place, everything's its own magical continuity, apparently, this week. Because Catwoman takes place completely separate from Justice League America, with her fighting of the Penguin.
In the Down Below, or the
Badlands.
Downloads, the Badlands, that's what it's called.
Badlands.
Which I'm not, this is still going on. This fight did not finish this comic.
I was surprised.
they basically have turned part of the city into a war zone between Catwoman, the Penguin, and these gang called the Rat Tails, whose leader is called Rat Tail. And the police are afraid to go in there.
They
And
said like the scum will fight the scum, and then we'll mop up the leftovers. And Bullock's like, that's not how we're supposed to do things. He's like, I'm not afraid of you, Mayor.
yeah, he ordered him not to send anyone in on foot. And then Penguin shows up because he's tired of everybody screwing up. And
Well, it's they're dealing with guerrilla warfare, and while they have it's basically the United States and Vietnam. There, superior firepower, superior numbers, but guerrilla warfare is winning.
I don't know, they had catapults.
It's true.
But
If they sent the comedian into that area, everybody would be dead. So
yes, that it does look like the perfect job for the comedian to take care of.
right.
But so the Penguin gets mad and goes after her with a helicopter and shoots missiles at Rat Tail, and he says that he's going to kill anyone the Catwoman cares about, ever, and no matter how long she lives. And then Rat Tail apparently fell in a hole, and Catwoman's going after him.
Yeah, I'm sure something's going to happen there. So
I enjoyed it.
it was good. It was very action paced.
Yes.
Action paced.
Action paced.
Action paced.
I agree. It was very action paced.
I can't talk tonight. Apparently, we're doing this too late. It's very action packed and fast paced. Was what I meant to say, but it got compounded.
Yes.
They apparently have to deal with the Volt is his name, I think. Who
Yep.
apparently is like electricity. So
Yeah.
there's some metahumans going on. I like the coroner where
Aren't they
Bullock's
all?
like pretty much. But yeah, I like the coroner where he was there, like Bullock's in there with the mayor. He's like, so who's winning? And coroner's like, well, looking at these bodies, the Badlands. Like he goes right to Penguin where he's all angry, stereotypical like evil villain.
Yeah.
He was very stereotypical evil villain Penguin in this comic, and I was completely okay with that. I kept hearing him go rah rah in my head.
He's like an over-the-top Bond villain lately.
Well, there was another one who was like that, but we'll get to her. Comic or two here, but yeah. So overall, I really like Catwoman. I thought it was a solid comic.
Yep. And then next we had not Justice League.
We had Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, number 21. So as we've been saying, there's been this backup to Justice League of Shazam getting his powers and Billy Batson doing his thing, and we left off last month with Black Adam capturing all his little friends from the foster home that he's in, and threatening to kill them if he doesn't give them the power. And the seven demons, or the seven vices of men, invade Scrooge McDuck from a couple comics ago, one of the mean bully kid's fathers, because he apparently embodies the seven deadly sins and turn him into like a raging hell beast.
That was really goofy to me. We're going to find the darkest soul in the city. Some random dude.
Well, he was introduced a few comics ago.
That's the worst guy in the city.
Yeah, I know. Apparently Fawcett City's just filled with happy people. It turns him into a giant rampaging hell beast, and I'm not even kidding. And I really love this comic. And so Shazam, so, the guy's like, give me your power, and then, he talks to the magic mirror lady, and he realizes so he blasts him with the Shazam, but instead of giving Black Adam his power, it gives all his buddies powers, and so this has existed before, the Marvel family, but I think it's been expanded. Mary Marvel, Mary was in the previous universe's Marvel family, so this is very stereotypical. I don't know if some of the other guys are new. One of them apparently could talk to machines because he had a lot of electronics on him, and then one of the kids was semi-crippled, and now he can walk, so that's kind of interesting. And they all turned into adults.
Can't walk, he can fly.
Oh, he still can't walk?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
I think he can do both, though, because they're all standing there. Who had crutches doesn't have them anymore, so I think you can walk.
Well, she says you can walk. He goes, no, I can fly, or maybe he said I can
that was supposed to be
fly
kind of
in addition to.
Yeah, I think it was one of those because they're in shock.
Don't forget he shares his power with the tiger.
Yeah, and he does, which he was also a character in, existing Captain Marvel universe. So I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. And but he apparently messes up the spell somehow of turning the tiger into a giant tiger, and it weakens everybody else. But then he figures out the secret to beating Black Adam.
Yeah, cliche way to beat bad guy number 2 for the
Dude,
week.
this is how they always beat Black Adam. Seriously.
Is it?
Ser- Didn't you ever see the
I
DC
did, but
animated
I don't remember it that well.
how he beat him? He got him to transform back
It's
into a human.
pretty common.
That's what it is. So this is every time I've seen Black Adam, this is how they beat him every single time. Um,
Come out, fight me like a man. You ain't nothing without your powers.
not
Oh,
always like
I'm
that. Sometimes,
old.
usually, I don't think he's ever done it that way, but he's just slapped him with the Shazam bolt and transformed him back.
Oh,
Usually,
yeah. Well,
um,
this time he talked to him and made him.
yeah. So in his arrogance, he transformed back, realized what he had kind of done, and then faded away into dust because of how old he was. Um, and so he wins at the very end, and so now he's with his family and
No, no,
foster.
no. Hold on.
Hmm?
You gotta wait because there's a part in there where the Mirror Woman says,
Oh,
"And now you are the champion of magic, and you can go get rid of the 7 deadly sins." Who actually took off as soon as Black Adam was gone? They didn't
right.
even try to fight.
No, I'm assuming they figured. Well, Black Adam was the one who imprisoned them the first time, so they were only really following his wishes. But yeah, he's got to chase them down now. Um, and yeah, so then it's like
Oh,
Christmas morning or whatever, and the kids are all there. But then we get the first appearance of Mr. Mind in the new DC universe, and Dr. Sylvia, who still is going nuts. So
yeah. I don't know who Mr. Mind is, but he looked like a tomato worm to me.
he's like a he's from Venus, I think, is his original backstory. He's he can like manipulate reality and stuff, control people with his mind. His big thing was
Is
after
that why he's a caterpillar in a bottle?
well, yeah, well, this is where he was trapped with Black Adam apparently, but because it's the same door that Black Adam came out of. But yeah, his backstory, his big thing that happened was after the whole Superboy Prime thing and the whole universe was just one, it was revealed with Booster Gold that Mr. Mind was going from universe to universe, eating them and becoming all powerful. And as he ate them or whatever, he caused them to change slightly differently, and that's how the New 52 was created before this New 52.
That
Uh,
doesn't make any sense.
it's comic books are weird.
So he ate the universes, and when he pooped them out, they were different. I don't
Yeah,
understand
that was
that.
the big reveal at the end of the. I think it was in the 52 a comic. I
I
don't know.
remember reading the 52.
Did you read all of them?
Yeah, the 52. I read the
You,
one
you,
called 52. I didn't read the other
right.
comics because that was a year without Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
Right. And it was like 1 year later after the events of. It was after the events of. Yeah, Mr. Mind. What was it in? Post Crisis. Was it Booster Gold? Maybe. Um.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
one of the most formidable telepaths. He'll take control of an individual's mind. He also possesses many insect-related abilities. Apparently, he's lived for a very long time. He reached maturity. That's what happened. Becoming a hyperfly with increased time and space-bending abilities, feeding over the timelines of singular universes. By his ability, he's able to transform the 52 exactly identical universes of the current DCU multiverse into vastly different worlds, literally eating away portions of their history. So he was forcibly put back into his little worm state.
So he's a maggot.
Kind of. Yeah. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how powerful he is in this universe. Um,
So yeah, I thought it was an okay comic. I'm not that big a fan of Shazam.
I'm a big fan of Captain Marvel. I've read a lot of his comics before the reboot, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I can handle cheese a little bit better than you two sometimes. So
Yes, I don't like that's not necessarily true. There's a certain I more like British style cheese to American style cheese.
I like
That
this
makes
superhero.
sense.
I like superhero cheese. Yeah, I mean, I like British comedies, Black Books,
Right.
IT Crowd.
Yes, but I mean, there's certain ways to do it, and
Right.
most of the time it's just
Yeah, I
way
like
too much
it's
for
what
me.
it is I like over the top cheese. You don't like over the top
I
cheese.
don't like over the top.
There you go. You
No.
like subtle British cheese.
Yes,
There you
like
go.
Shaun of the Dead.
I like both. I like both.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's why
So,
I that's why I hate Dumb and Dumber the movie and anything with Leslie Nielsen
oh, I hate that movie too. So, um, what's next?
and all
House
the
Dynamite.
scary movies and
I thought
date
the first one
movies.
was okay. I thought the first scary movie was okay. I vaguely remember it. It just wore out its welcome fairly quickly.
Pretty much anything by the Wayans brothers.
Tyler Perry.
His movies aren't cheesy though. Well, the Medea ones are a little bit,
Right.
but anything by Eddie Murphy,
Well, he said some. What about did you like? Well, I was a young kid when I watched it, but what's the one where he's fat?
hated it.
You hated that movie? I liked it
Yep.
when I was a kid.
Too much for me. Too
I liked it when
stupid.
I was like, I think I watched it when I was like 7. So I haven't
Too
since
too
then.
many fat fart jokes. I don't like those at all.
I really don't even remember the movie now. I just remember liking it when I was 7.
The
So
clumps. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, oh yeah. I think they made a sequel that wasn't very. I went.
Yeah.
All right, we're tangenting. We're horribly tangenting right now.
Uh, I was just explaining why I didn't like cheese. So now, on the other hand, I do love actual cheese.
Cheese is amazing.
Yeah.
I
So
prefer
don't.
cheese to chocolate.
Mm,
Hands down, absolutely. If you offered me my favorite type of dark chocolate, because I'm a dark chocolate guy, and a delicious piece of cheese, I would go for the cheese every time.
I'd take them both.
Well, in this scenario, you can only choose one.
Mm, no, I'd take them both.
Oh, I guess you're Larfleeze then.
No.
Next comic.
Justice League Dark.
I really like this comic.
Yeah, this is my other favorite comic this week.
This is my favorite comic this week, I feel like. Maybe I'll revise it by the end, but I really enjoy Justice League Dark. So this is a lot of conclusion, another conclusion here kind of going on. This is the conclusion to the Justice League Dark storyline with Mr. Destiny. Horror City, yep, with Dr.
Doctor
Destiny,
Destiny.
who has taken over the House of Mystery and also Swamp Thing. Um, and
Yes.
they just went in, and so it just had great moments with all the characters that were in it. Frankenstein was excellent, taking him down, and we find out Frankenstein has a little bit of weakness to fire,
Of course.
which makes sense.
Him versus
I like
what's
how
the Demon Butler's name? I wrote down Demon Butler because I couldn't remember what his name was.
I don't
And
know.
feel like looking it back up.
I'd have to look back at Justice League Dark comics. I don't think they said his name in this comic, but yeah,
Uh,
the Demon Butler goes after him. I love how he also did the whole rhyming thing. I was also privy to Constantine's secret files at all of you, so I know fire is no friend of Frankenstein. I love that little line. It's totally Frankenstein or Frank.
yep.
Frankie.
And then, of course, Constantine monologues the bad guy to death, pretty much.
Yeah, actually Constantine does what he always does. He's standing around some monologues and does nothing while his friends take care of it for him.
He kept him distracted until Swamp Thing could free himself, and then
No,
Deadman.
Dead Man, possessed Swamp Thing.
Um,
That's how he broke him free. Then Deadpool. Deadpool. It's because that new Deadpool video game that came out. I watched a Let's Play of it. Dead Man possessed the house,
yes, and opened all the doors for Swamp Thing's creatures.
right, and for everybody else to break free. And then the ending to this comic.
Hold on, let me see. And then
Oh,
Flash helps Frankenstein take out the Demon Butler.
I like this Flash.
Yeah, I like that he called
That's
himself a.
Flash in the Flash.
He's like, I never thought that these freaks would, would be a Justice League, but they're actual heroes, and maybe I'm a bit of a freak myself.
He says,
I've
"quote
never
it's just-
felt so much at home.
Yeah, with the well, considering how Justice League's been portrayed,
Right.
where they're just basically one step away from chopping each other's heads off.
Yes.
But yeah, so it ends. So Deadman gets a real chance to shine in this comic, and That was really cool. And then the ending, what's her name? Xanadu, Madam
Yep.
Xanadu, sees the future with her and Deadman and in love, actually, but also Dr. Destiny taking fully over. So she decides to eliminate the threat of her son once and for all.
Well, I don't think she killed him, did she? She just took
Oh
the
yeah,
gem
oh yeah.
out.
She killed him. She killed him. He's dead. He said, "I love this. I see the mistake I made, and I won't make." Because she talks about killing him. He said, "I didn't leave you. I'd be forced to kill you. I see the mistake I made, and I won't make it again. Frankenstein, your sword. May I? I love it. I love Frankenstein. My blade is heavy with the souls of the guilty. Perhaps I should." And she's like, "I can handle it." It looks like Constantine's about to stop her, but doesn't. And then she kills him and rips out the jewel that he was using and walks away and refuses Dead Man's advances.
Yep. And then it says next
Trinity War.
Trinity War. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoy Justice League Dark usually, so
It was a great ending to a storyline. It's been consistently awesome, and I'm excited for what's going to happen next.
and then speaking of next, possibly the worst comic this week.
Uh, there was one redeeming feature to this comic, but we'll get to that. I
It
like
got over.
I like the Martian Manhunter backup
It was a Martian Manhunter backup.
where he went to Earth for the first time. Didn't you read that?
That wasn't in Larfleeze.
Oh, I'm going in order. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped the comic.
You skipped
I
just
missed Justice. There are 3 Justice Leagues in a row. I apologize.
this is Justice League week. I was like worst comic. I'm like
I was talking about Larfleeze. Justice League of America. I'm sorry. Justice League of America was good. I liked it.
I thought it was good all around. But I'm like, why did you hate the backup?
Yeah, no. The backup with Manhunter versus Toth was awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Justice League of America was Catwoman was actually Martian Manhunter. Last month they showed Catwoman being shot in the head. Instead it was Martian Manhunter, and he just stands up and they show the team working together, which was pretty cool. Which was mostly what the comic was about, was showing them work together as a team for the
It was a
first
big
time.
fight scene, and it was great.
And then Manhunter pushes whoever the bad guy is out of the Kronos, who apparently is a member of Argus, who's head by
No,
Amanda
it's
Waller.
hold on,
Yeah,
is that it? Because I thought it was because there was two people wearing a time traveler costume. Hold on.
he let him in,
His
right?
name, yeah. His name is Kronos, and then Amanda Waller at the end. Let me see if that's who I think it is.
Or am I confused by the two
No,
gray-colored bald-headed guys?
I think you might be right, but there was something that was throwing me off.
He was being controlled by somebody else, and then Martian Manhunter
No, you're right.
pushes out, well, Kronos, who really looks like Vision to me. And
It reminds me of Metron, who's a new guard, who sits in a chair and time travels too. He's one of the new gods.
he kind of looks like Vision from Avengers there. But anyways, yeah, so he pushes out whoever's got control over him, and then Kronos disappears, and they use Kronos to move the building. I don't know, but anyways, Amanda Waller winds up having Kronos again, and he was supposed to be finding Booster Gold apparently.
Yeah, and yeah, he was so it was a little confusing because they both have white faces. So there's a guy in a suit who was the one who shot Catwoman, aka Martian Manhunter, last month. He's a little suit and has a little cane. And so he has Martian Manhunter try to read his mind, and he realizes that this person's lost their people too. But he can immediately resist the Martian Manhunter's telepathy. But there's also, and so while they're fighting, the rest of the team is all fighting the rest of them. And Hawkman
There's like
this week,
3 bald gray people in this
Yes, there
comic.
are. So the second one, Kronos, is who they use to move the house, but
Right.
he's separate from the guy with the suit. So
Yeah.
the Martian Manhunter never talked to Kronos.
What about the guy covered in lumps?
That's Dr. Ivo. That's Dr. Ivo, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dr. Ivo, the other bald guy. You're right, three bald
See, I
guys.
was so confused by all the time traveling people.
Right. So the one guy, he doesn't. Only Kronos, it seems, can
Right.
time travel.
Right, but see, I got confused by that scene with Martian Manhunter trying to grab him with his arms,
Right. He's
and
skating
he
up the distance.
shifted, which is why I confused the gray guy with the gray guy.
Right. So what happened was he pushed the button on the globe, and that activated Kronos.
Yes.
And so, but they actually recovered Kronos at the end, or whatever, apparently, or something like that.
So whoever the bad guy is, he's not human.
He's not human, and he knows he's met John before.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not human, and so it'll be interesting to see the reveal. And so, but they take him down. They get a couple members of the secret society. They got Dr. Ivo. I think they got somebody else.
They brought Kronos back.
Hawkman this month was hilarious. He's like, he's lost a pint of blood, broken ribs. He just won't go down.
I also thought Green Arrow was funny when they introduced Simon Baz to the team. I'd like to introduce Green Lantern to the team. If that's Green Lantern, I'm Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Simon Baz gets recruited with Bizd. Is with
Yes,
his squirrel buddy.
bitch.
I like him a lot, and but yeah, so Amanda Waller has just moved into full evil villain mode this comic, in my opinion.
It was just a little reverse psychology on Trevor.
I was waiting for her to go just as planned.
She did say that, didn't she?
No, she's like, sometimes it's too easy. But yeah, she says she's going to disband the Justice League of America, and then Steve defends them and says if they go, she goes.
He goes.
Yep. I like it how she said she was going to recruit Captain Atom, though. I thought that was pretty funny. Did my mic go wonky there for a second, by the way?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Did you hear anything, or was it just my hand or something?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I said, what did it sound like? Did you hear what I said at all, or?
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Okay.
Other than
Sorry about that. But yeah, with Amanda Waller, she's moved into full evil villain mode, I feel like. I think she's going to get the person who gets killed before before Trinity War starts.
and then at the very end we've got Dr. Light, very shiny.
Very shiny. She does mention, though, that she could recruit Captain Atom, so he must still be alive.
Is that Captain Atom?
She says Black Canary, Captain Atom, and Steel. She was going
Of
to
course,
use team.
who knows when this falls within the time frame, because apparently Justice League of America's always been there.
Apparently. But yeah, Pandora's box is mentioned as part of the puzzle, so they're involved in it. And then we come to the backup.
Yes, the backup was awesome. It was last month Martian Manhunter was off being alone for the first time ever, which is something that their leaders have to do before they assume leadership. And then when he comes back, his entire planet's dead, and he finds out that it's something on Earth called Toth, who I have no idea what it's supposed to be. It's ugly. And yeah, it's telepathic, but it consumes people's consciousnesses. And he beats it to death. Oh, it's a kid. It's the mask did it?
You talking about the...
I don't know. There's some kid, he's got telepathic powers, and they show him put on this mask, and then he's all weird looking, like an alien. Anyways, yeah. Martian
It's
Manhunter.
supposed to be that guy's backstory. I
Right,
think.
so it's a little kid, and then they show him as like a teenager, and he's got some kind of weird mask, and then when they show him putting it on, and he's no longer human once he puts the mask on.
Right. So he was alone, and he was lonely.
Right.
Now the Manhunter's lonely.
So now the Manhunter beats him to death, and then he disappears, and then they show Martian Manhunter over top of Metropolis saying,
the planet isn't empty like he thought it was, but it's just as savage.
right, it's just as savage. That made me laugh.
True facts.
But yeah, it was good. I like the whole Justice League of America comic.
I thought it was really good too. So
Okay,
next is
now we go to my maybe least favorite. I don't
all
know.
right. Take this one. Break it down for me.
All right, so you got Larfleeze. Larfleeze number one, and it is the Larfleeze that's been the backup to whatever it was after before. I don't remember.
Threshold.
So you got Larfleeze, and he's at the end of Threshold. He had found out that he had been hypnotized to destroy his own stuff, and so now he's sitting at the edge of the universe with whatever that little blue dude is that's his slave. And he's like, man, I just want to die because I lost all my stuff. And then he tells him the stupidest backstory I've ever heard about how Larfleeze is immortal and he's billions of years old. And they showed him, like, his mother squats in the field and pushes him out and then drags him along by his umbilical cord hanging out of her still as she finishes working in the field.
But you're not mentioning Larfleeze's commentary with his friend.
It's because it's terrible. And then his people get enslaved, and then he kills his wife because she's nagging him or slaps him, and then he escapes from that, and then this dog comes out and eats him, and then he destroys it, and it turns out that Larfleeze is a living power battery for greed, and then Laird of the Hunt comes out, and that was the stupid comic. Terrible.
So what you're saying is you didn't like it?
Terrible dialogue, terrible artwork, terrible story. There is no way that anybody in the universe could be afraid of Larfleeze.
I found it confusing and ridiculous. Some of this stuff I'd already heard before.
I could beat him with a penny. Oh,
apparently
look,
he's
a penny.
He's now a living battery, apparently, though.
A living power battery.
Oh, you forgot to mention the very last page. Coming soon in Larfleeze. Revolt of the Orange Lanterns, where apparently he has other people now with the ring.
I currently have revulsion for the Orange Lanterns. It's already happened.
Yeah, I didn't like this comic at all. Pretty much covered it. I don't get as angry as you about this comic.
You're lucky that we're doing this as a podcast because I would never read that comic again.
That bad?
Yes.
I was mostly bored throughout it. I found it boring and confusing and ugly. Basically a less extreme version of your emotions towards it. It didn't make me angry. I just got bored with it.
It didn't anger me. It disgusted me. The amazing things have been canceled so that could take its place. I mean, this is Hawk and Dove stupid.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that right there. I think the best comment was when I saw on the DC Comics website for this, when I was looking up the solicitation, where someone said they were like, well, I guess it's okay that Larfleeze is getting a comic, but man, they really should have given one to Saint Walker.
Yes.
And that sums it up incredibly. If we're going to spotlight one of the other cores that doesn't already have a comic, like the Red Lanterns or the Green Lanterns, it should be Saint Walker and the Blue Lanterns.
Yes. I would almost... No, I'm not even going to say it.
Say it. What were you going to say?
I can't say it. It's not true. It's a lie.
You'd almost prefer bad Superman over this?
That's not what I was going to say.
Just say it.
I was going to say I'd almost prefer a Guy Gardner comic to Larfleeze, but that's a lie.
That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
I would prefer a John Stewart comic over
Yes, I would prefer a John Stewart comic to Larfleeze. So, yeah, we'll just say it's bad, it's terrible, don't read it. The next comic was Red Lanterns 21. You might as well go ahead and skip this next story, too, because Guy Gardner has ruined Red Lanterns. 20 comics of awesome, and they put Guy Gardner in it for 1 second. And you know what I realized? Green Lantern Corps sucked right up until the comic that Guy Gardner wasn't in. You know what that means? Guy Gardner is Rob Liefeld.
I don't believe that he could beat Atrocitus. That was a whole bunch of nonsense. He beat Atrocitus.
Yeah.
And took his ring.
Beat Atrocitus and took off his ring. And not only that, but he's in a bar making comments about pink umbrellas with a stick dude that's got an umbrella named Swixel, like a swizzle stick, who's a freaking Green Lantern.
No offense, Lantern Swixel, who's drinking and he's like, not taken. It seems like, yeah. So the premise for this comic, I'll take this one because I know how much this makes you rage. So the
Oh.
premise for this comic is, basic premise. It starts off awesome, actually. Atrocitus kills one of the Red Lanterns because he realizes that he's a plant for the Green Lanterns. So he rips
You're
open his
right.
stomach,
I forgot
rips
about
out
that part.
rips
That
out the planted bug, crushes it, kills him, pours his blood in. He makes new Red Lantern rings to replenish their group, sends out 10 of them. Bleez is like, why 10? Atrocitus is like, well, they take a while to flesh out a good Red Lantern, and 10 new ones can get 10 new ones, can get 10 new ones, and, soon we'll have thousands. And so then we cut to the Green Lantern part of this comic.
Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner.
Hal Jordan shows up at Guy Gardner, informs him that he's running the Corps now, wants Guy Gardner to go undercover as a Red Lantern because their, snitch is gone. And Guy Gardner's all like, murmur, 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 murmur. I guess I'll do it. Maybe. I guess I'll do it. And then he goes to a little bar with his buddies, those stupid Dirty Dozen people from way, way back in Green Lantern Corps. And then he goes to the planet Yzmalt after Rancor has beat up some of them because they wanted to kill him so they could learn his construct power. And he's like, no. And then Atrocitus actually has a really good line. He's like, Guy Gardner comes in and says, I could give you information, shows it to them. He says, I love this line from Atrocitus. He says, perhaps you could be of use. Your blood does sing to me. Even now, you come to the Reds at a point where we would welcome new strength. I have a ring for you, Guy Gardner. And perhaps if I were the idiot you seem to think I am, I would give it to you. He's like not buying it, and then he blasts him, and he's winning. But then Guy Gardner talks about the real rage inside of him because he's a failure, and that's what makes him angry. And he beats Atrocitus and says he's done being the good guy, quote unquote. And so Atrocitus gets his butt kicked and pulled away. I think he takes the ring. Does he personally take his? Yeah, he takes personally his ring off, and so he'll die. And then his cat, Dexter, takes him away. I don't buy for it. This is Atrocitus.
I totally give up all the Lantern comics too.
Huh?
I guess Larfleeze is a Lantern comic. I could be done with the Lantern comics.
I'm hoping Atrocitus takes him down in the next comic. We still have to read it, but I'm sorry. We've seen Atrocitus take down the Manhunters. We've seen Atrocitus actually hold his own for a while against Mr. Rainbow Dude. We've seen him, take down the Guardians of the Guardians' Emotions, who mess with his mind. You're telling me that Guy Gardner comes in and fisticuffs him to death?
Oh, don't you know Guy Gardner is the most powerful creature in the universe?
Bull. That is nonsense.
He could.
This comic sucks.
He could.
It really does.
He could beat Superman while he's asleep with a snore.
This comic made me angry. Everything up until Guy Gardner shows up was great. Everything non-Guy Gardner in this, awesome. It was typical Red Lantern, and then Guy Gardner came in and just ruined it like Rob Liefeld.
Hated it. Ruined my comic.
Hated most of it. Yeah. We'll have to. Hopefully it gets better next month.
It won't, because they're on a Guy Gardner story arc.
Hopefully it'll be over quickly. Please.
It's probably going to last until next year at this point.
Don't tell me that. Don't make me sad. I love Atrocitus.
It's going to be Guy Gardner until Red Lantern's number 41. Hated it.
Garbage comic.
And the next one wasn't that much better either. Superman.
Decent in comparison to Superman comics.
Weird and out of place.
Was this the one with the naked chick on the cover? Yeah, with the Hive Queen.
Yes. So okay.
Bathing.
Well, she's not bathing. She's being drizzled in some kind of cyber.
As she bathes in the technoplasmic waste of every
right, but she's not taking bath. I think she's being drizzled in some kind of cybernetic goop.
It's technoplasmic waste. It says babes. It says babes.
Yeah, well, that's
Every
because
thought,
it's
every
just.
desire, and every disappointment of every citizen of Metropolis.
But when you say
She
bathe,
luxuriates.
that conjures up, a
She's in
woman
a
in
tub.
it. She's not in a tub.
That's like a tub, dude.
No, it's the container for her. She's connected to the computers through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was just. I knew this. I knew I was in for a bad comic, or like nothing very good when I saw this first page.
That's why I knew it wasn't bad last time when I saw Hector Hammond's giant head.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sorry. The cover was enough.
So Hive has been in the comics for a while now,
Yep, they've been
and
hinted at. Superboy.
this
mentioned
is the first time that they've had a bee theme.
No,
Yes.
really?
Like like they've had a bee, maybe hexagons, but
I
this
think
is
they had kind of a
like
bit of a B theme within Teen Titans, the TV show.
but that's the TV show. I'm talking about the
Well, it's based
52.
off the cartoon. Yeah, but yeah, this was weird.
This was like the ant people in Batwing almost.
almost. I didn't hate this as much as those people.
But so the queen, she wears a headset thing that makes her
Yeah,
look
looks
like
like
a bee a little bit.
Right.
All the hive people share a hive mind, and they've got little gold honey colored hexagons on their faces.
Right.
Right, hexagon, yeah. And and then the queen wants Hector Hammond. Only now they've
As
started
their
calling
second
him
power,
Mindstorm.
which I think was his code name before.
I'm pretty sure
Just-
Lego should sue him.
Oh.
And yeah, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Olsen has $1 billion,
I
and
guess.
he feels lonely.
Okay, so
That's all I wrote down for the comic.
here's what happens. So she again, luxuriating in the evil desires of the world, is trying to make everybody into.
I really believe that's some kind of cybernetic stuff that that allows her to connect to all those computers that are around her.
Who knows? Who cares? So she wants Hector Hammond to power her way of controlling the entire city and making them all under the hive. So accused of the holding facility where Hector Hammond is, turns out that one of the scientists is a hive plant. This is my first problem with this comic. Okay, these people immediately knew who Hive was because she recognized the marks. She makes a comment about the Hive, and they immediately start shooting. So they know about the Hive. They know the Hive must be after Hector Hammond. How did he get through? How did he get through as a plant? They don't even mention that. Like, you'd think they would be screening him somehow if they know this much about the Hive. But I guess that's a little bit more of a nitpick. But anyway, so
But no, because they're the people, and then they touch them, and then they're infected with whatever allows her to control them.
right, but he was a plant, is what happens.
Well, he was.
You're an agent of Hive, is what she says. Dear God, you're here for Mindstorm.
Yeah, but he wasn't a plant, though. He's probably someone who was already working that they touched.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he gets through, and
Because they take over those guards, and they take over that woman.
right. I mean, I understand that. I just meant that they think they would have a better screening process to try to stop this from happening. But so they accuse Clark Kent in Gotham City with some weirdo like Star Wars reject.
She looks like Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi.
Yes, she does. And she drops off a file saying that somebody who doesn't like Clark Kent is embroiled in bigger things. And
I'm surprised she didn't threaten him with a thermal detonator.
and then the Hive people escape with Hector Hammond, but accidentally restart his brain.
Oh, look, a bare wire. Let's push him into it.
A wire becomes free, and
You know what he looks like? You know what he looks like? He looks like that South Park episode where, what's his name? The counselor guy.
Oh, Mr. Mackey.
When Mr. Mackey's on drugs and his head expands so he floats around.
Oh, he does look like that. He reminds me of a bobblehead, really.
I don't like Hector Hammond. I think he's stupid.
Well, I hated him in the last Superman comic. So he wakes up, and his psychic blast hits everybody in the city at once. But Superman's protected, so it kind of bounces off of him and hits his closest friends. And Lois Lane thinks she's invulnerable for a few minutes. Jimmy is lonely by himself, and Perry White feels the need to tell everybody that he's Superman. So it was obviously an attack on Superman that bounced off. That's what he wanted Superman to do. So after he saves them all, the Hive Queen thinks that she's got Hector Hammond, but he comes in with everybody and saying, "Hi, I hear you want to see me," because he's awake. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, it was idiotic.
It didn't make me angry though, like the previous two.
No, it was just stupid.
Yeah, which it
Just-
always is.
Yeah, so we moved from stupid to Talon.
Stupid.
Okay, we're done.
Uh, well, okay, so Talon was was a continuation of the storyline where he was told to go kill Strix.
He saw Birds of
And
Prey last week.
right, because they had Casey and her daughter, and I really don't like the Talon comic, and this starts off with him talking about how he realized he was sent to kill people, but he couldn't kill people regardless because, he's the superhero, but he stabs Strix in the back trying to kill her. There was no hesitation in the last comic. So him thinking that, oh, I'm not a bad guy because I
Well, no.
couldn't kill somebody.
Remember,
He stabbed her trying to kill her.
when he had her pinned down or whatever, he couldn't kill her in face to face. So he
You
can
mean
only,
after she spared his life after he stabbed her in the back?
yeah, he can only kill people by backstabbing. He can't do it in
Oh, I
front.
see. I see.
He has performance anxiety.
And then the proportions in this comic are way off. Like, Strix looks like she's a 3-year-old standing next to him. And and then he goes back and he tells him that Strix is dead, and then he kisses the Casey, or kisses Casey so he can put a lockpick in her mouth, and then she releases herself, pulls out a tooth, sends a Morse code signal to people who are working with Emperor Penguin, and then some dude named Wolf Spider who looks like a Gumby, or not a Gumby, Stretch Armstrong, is going to fight Talon next time, I guess. I don't know.
It was that's actually a pretty accurate summation. I don't know what to add to that other than who was it that he liquefied to bring back the proof to? Was it just another dead Talon, or
I don't know.
they mentioned like it was from Mr. Freeze's comic in Birds of Prey, but
Oh,
it must have been the you
it
remember
was
when
one of
they-
the scientists that got killed, maybe?
No, remember the scientists were about to reanimate
Oh, yeah.
when they busted in. That's who that was. Ugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very subpar.
I don't like Talon, and I never have.
I had hope for it. I had hope for it, but then it crushed my hope.
It was too confusing in the beginning, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah,
I
so
really haven't liked it since that time when Batman put unescapable bat cuffs on him, and he just shrugged them off like they weren't there.
next comic.
Teen Titans, which was good.
I was really good. I enjoyed it. I just confused about Raven. Because I thought she was okay. So the evolution of Raven in the New 52 is she's on the run from Trigon. Phantom Stranger betrays her to Trigon, which was amazing, by the way. And then I thought she turned evil, but then
I
maybe
don't
she
believe
was
so.
never really evil, and she was actually good the entire time.
I
And
think
she
so.
saves Beast Boy, and now she's still good.
Yeah,
Okay, just getting that clarified. But
that's pretty much what I got from it.
okay, so we're on the same
Like-
page there.
Like, I don't like she was pristinely good, and now she's broken good
Mm. Right. Well, she was raised by
because
Azeroth.
she
right.
probably had to do evil things.
Right.
But I mean, she did help him conquer some worlds apparently.
hmm
But she's not like, she's not like unredeemably evil.
Right.
She wants to be redeemed, but she's done evil things.
Well, so they take on the Three Sons of Trigon, who I thought were comical this week.
I really liked how the teams split up and worked together. This must have been the work together as a team week, because most of the comics were about the teams working well together.
Yeah, you have Solstice and Kid Flash teaming up. You have Wonder Girl and Bunker teaming up to take down one. Then you have Superboy and Red
Raven.
Robin
And Red Robin, yep.
and Red Robin team and Beast Boy teaming up
Yep.
to take on one. And
I thought
but
the Wonder Girl Bunker team was awesome.
I really did too. I thought they worked really well together.
I don't remember Solstice really doing anything.
I think she just flew around as a distraction.
Yeah, and Kid Flash did his normal. He got possessed, and then
Yep.
she kissed him.
Well, no, he got freed. She punched him, and then he freed himself of the control, and then he kissed her.
Oh, yeah. I remember somebody kissed.
Yep. And so
Yeah, that was all she did was zapped him to unpossess him. Yeah, or she threw
And
a
then
rock at him.
it was a big rock.
It's a big rock. Not as big as that one that almost hit that gangster's daughter in Catwoman.
Nope. The comically large rock. We forgot to
That
mention
That
the woman who was going
exploded
for
the milk. Yes.
Not the milk.
They destroyed the milk. Oh no.
That was an important plot point in Catwoman.
Yeah, that was really strange. But anyways,
I'm sure she's going to be a recurring character. So
I'm sure. Yeah, Beast Boy shows up to save him. That was pretty awesome because I like Beast Boy.
I actually like Superboy in this comic.
Yeah, he wasn't bad this time around.
Nope.
And then, what else did I have here?
At the very end, Trigon possesses Superboy, and
he cuts off what's his face's arms, the one of Trigon's sons, and they're like, looks like somebody's been reading the Necronomicon. And
that was kind of weird.
It made me think of Evil Dead.
Clack to
Evil Dead.
Verata.
What's the Army of Darkness?
Yeah, Clack to Verata.
What, I said it. And then Trigun shows up and leashes all the team except for Red Robin with his chains and says that Raven will lead his conquest with the Titans as their dogs of war.
Yep.
Which
And
is
that's the end.
That's not going to work for Trigun. It says next Dark Titans.
So it should be entertaining at least.
Yes. And then we come to boring issue number 21. The Flash. Let me tell you what I have written down. Flash chases down Kid Flash. Their speed forces touch, and they share info that way. And then Reverse Flash kills another one of the people who was touched by the Speed Force.
Slightly different. He chases down Kid Flash, who and then he touches him, and then the Speed Force interacts with him. But he finds out that Kid Flash isn't using the Speed Force; he's using some type of alien technology, quote unquote. And then he's all like, "If you need a bro, I can be your bro." And Kid Flash is like, "I don't need a father figure. I don't care about my past. I'm going to be super whiny and angsty in this comic. Bye now." And
He has been. I don't even know where this is coming from. He is not like that in Teen Titans.
No, he is not.
But he was like that in Vibe. Like, he's really weird in Vibe. You remember when Vibe chased him down?
Oh, yeah.
And this is the same character, or the same characteristics he had in the Vibe comic.
Maybe they're written by the same people. Who knows? But yeah, it was pretty boring. At the end, he realizes he's not Reverse Flash, and then Reverse Flash again zaps and
It has the
Speed
least
Force,
amount of information written down for it of all the comics when I took notes. Because nothing happened. Nothing ever happens in the Flash.
It's a really boring comic.
Do you remember when there was that plane crash?
Oh gosh,
Back in like the first issue, and they're like, they don't explain what's going on for like the first 9 issues. You have no clue what's happening.
How about when Iris West or whatever and all those people were trapped inside the Speed Force and he just leaves and he's all like meh for 3 issues?
He's hanging out at the bar with the Rogues Gallery. Yeah, I left people to die in the Speed Force, whatever. I'm going to talk with Captain Cold here. I don't understand how he's so good in the other comics and he's so terrible. Well, it's like
Bad
Wonder Woman,
writing.
right?
Bad writing. Bad
Wonder
writing.
Woman is good in the other comics, but when she's in
She's
Wonder Woman,
amazing in Batwoman. She was
yes,
amazing in Batwoman.
that's because Batwoman's an amazing comic. Yeah, so Flash was boring. And then last was the Green Team.
I did not like this comic at all.
I thought it was okay. It was not as good as the first one.
I thought it was. I will say that it was less good than the first one. I really didn't like the first one. I didn't like this comic more. Apparently, they all get super suits in this issue after being attacked by the mysterious gang
Only
trying to steal the
two of
super
them
suits.
have super
They're
suits.
all gonna get super suits, and then apparently the guy. So
You're a fan of Power Rangers.
I just thought they were boring. I just thought the whole. I just didn't really care about this guy. And then the rich kid apparently has an old Batmobile.
Yes, that was
Ooh.
funny. Got it off the
It was.
bottom of the river.
I did smile. And then how did the comic end? Cell phone conversations and
Cece wakes up and her arm has been taken over by the armor. It's actually embedded in her through tubes now, it looks like.
I don't care about these people.
It's
I'm
kind of like a knockoff American version of Guyver so far.
No wonder why you like it so much.
I loved Guyver.
Transference of emotion. Like I said, I didn't like this comic. So
I don't know how you can. It's like the Power Rangers.
they are
Only,
not
only
five.
not as stupid.
They are not five teenagers with attitude.
They have attitudes, and they are teenagers, sort
None
of.
of them know karate.
You don't know that. That little Arabian kid can know karate.
Oh, because he's Arabian?
I don't know if Arabians know karate, but I'm
I
sure
don't
some of them
think they
do.
I'm assuming he has a scythe somewhere, though. So,
I assume he's Arabian anyways.
anyway, I didn't really care for this. So,
Yeah, I don't know why you don't like it that much, because
I just don't. I don't know.
it was better than The Flash. Stuff happened, and it had funny moments and some exciting battles. I was a little too Iron Man for me, but I thought it was really funny where they're controlling the different things on the suits with their fingertips, and that girl doesn't know which fingertip does what. I thought that was kind of funny.
I got a couple laughs out of that. I just didn't think it was a very good comic. So, I mean, it wasn't my. I now that I think about it, I remember what happened with some of the other comics. It wasn't my least favorite this month, but it was definitely more exciting than Flash.
It's not as good as The Movement, that's for sure.
No, it's definitely more exciting than the Flash. But watching paint dry is more exciting than the Flash. So
That is true. That's true. I don't understand. The Flash, the fastest thing on the planet.
this comic.
Well, unless you talk to a Superman fan, then he's the fastest thing on the planet. And he has the slowest comic. Nothing ever happens in his comic. Like Gorilla Grodd shows up with an army of gorillas, and
They
the
made that
Rogues Gallery take care of them.
They made the fight scenes boring. The only thing exciting about that was with the Rogues Gallery.
They made fight scenes boring.
They made fight scenes. They had a giant psychic gorilla with a giant talking gorilla army taking over a city. Boring.
But it came out of nowhere, and it only lasted like an issue and a half.
No, it was like 3, I think.
It's so weird, and they just kept doing this stupid. It's like Guy Gardner in his bar almost, only it doesn't make me angry.
Only the bar is in every single comic.
The bar is more interesting than the Flash.
It's like Haley Circus and Nightwing. It just keeps.
Oh no, it's not that bad.
I know. Maybe what needs to happen is the Joker just needs to burn down the city, and then Flash can do something. Works with Nightwing.
Like the end of the last comic with the Flash, right? Wasn't that the one with the mirror ball thing?
I don't even remember.
Shouldn't he be tracking down what's going on with this, not hunting? Well, I guess I forgot. He was looking for the
Reverse
Reverse Flash, only he doesn't know it yet.
no, I think he heard that those people are dead and saw it. Yeah,
I like that in Justice League Dark, it took him half a second to find the hidden House of Mystery, and it took him an entire comic to track down Kid Flash.
well, he was running away really fast. He only could catch him after he reached escape
So,
velocity.
Mr. Genius Scientist, why didn't he just run the opposite direction?
Because he was wrapping something around his head, which means he can run away from. I don't know.
I don't know. All right, so best worst.
This is a tough week for that. I'm giving the best to Justice League Dark for myself, and then the worst. Which comic made me more angry? I think it's a toss-up between Larfleeze and Red Lanterns. Larfleeze, because there was redeeming qualities to the Red Lanterns. That opening scene with Atrocitus.
For me, Batman Superman was awesome. I really liked it. I really liked the social commentaries.
I think it's about even for me. I
really liked the difference of look on how things work, looking at it out of Superman's eyes and out of Batman's eyes.
It's definitely as good as the original Superman-Batman team-up comic from the pre-universe, which I really enjoyed.
And worst comic for me is... I have to tie it between Larfleeze and Red Lanterns. Larfleeze sucked. Larfleeze is a terrible, terrible comic, but Red Lanterns infuriates me.
I have to try to balance out the amazingness with Atrocitus at the beginning with just how far this comic fell in 1 month. From one
Guy Gardner punches him to death.
Oh, you're right. It is a tie. It's different types of suck.
There's an umbrella guy named Swixel. Or that could even be pronounced Swizzle.
Red Lantern made me more angry.
There's a little tiny Green Lantern in a bar who has an umbrella over his head
who happened
named
to be on that
Swizzle.
It was like a Looney Tunes joke because it's a zoom in and they zoomed out and there he is, just happened to be at that table.
I'm pretty sure Larfleeze is a Looney Tunes joke.
And we'll never see that Lantern again. I bet we'll never see that Lantern again.
Of course not. His one-shot joke is done.
So, well.
Now I'm angry again.
You're thinking about it. Larfleeze took down Atrocitus and took his ring.
Okay, I have to point out one more time. I've said it before, but Green Lanterns guard a sector of space. How come there are so many freaking human Green Lanterns? Pick one and kill the rest. I pick Simon Baz.
Simon Baz immediately kill them all. Put them in a bag and drown them in a river.
I don't get it. You can't walk 2 inches on Earth without sneezing and finding a Green Lantern.
Oh, look, another one, honey.
And why don't they go out and patrol some space? Why are they always hanging out on Earth or other people's planets? Go get your own planets.
Well, we all hang out at Guy Gardner's bar to unwind after a hard day of space patrolling.
And then, I can't remember his name, Hal Jordan dumps out a whole more bunch of rings, which, in my head I picture somebody knocking over one of those gumball machines with all the plastic rings in it.
Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps, Human Shield. I mean, what do you mean, Human Shield? You have only
Stay away from that one. He'll break your neck if he gets mad.
Jon Stewart training the new recruits. Kilowog usually used to do this, but now that he is a networking guy for some reason,
because he's a genius scientist on his planet.
You're bringing Green Lantern animated series into this now.
No, those were the DC facts. Fact card that came up on the screen. They did little DC facts and so that wasn't from the cartoon. That was supposed to be the actual facts about Kilowog. He's a preeminent scientist on his planet. The pink dude that punches people.
That's what he's known for. being pink and punching things.
Yes.
All right, so let's wrap this. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah, because we've probably been going too long at this point.
I'm exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually,
Uh,
emotionally. No. What's next week? Run through the list just real quick here.
Action Comics, which could be
Okay.
good or bad. Batman Incorporated, which will be bad. Batwing, which will be mediocre. Detective Comics, which will be good. Dial H, which is going to suck. Earth 2, which is going to be amazing. Green Arrow, which is going to be amazing. Green Lantern, which is going to suck. Stormwatch, which will be okay. Swamp Thing, which will be amazing. The Movement, which will be amazing. Trinity of Sin Pandora will probably suck, like Trinity of Sin, The Phantom Stranger.
I thought we already got an issue with Trinity and Pandora. I don't know. I think that
Oh,
was
this is the
up in the
first
air.
one. Trinity,
Yeah, it's
Trinity
up,
of Sin Pandora
I
is
give it
number
a
one.
50-50. John Constantine could show up in it.
See, you like The Phantom Stranger, and I don't like The Phantom Stranger, so I'm afraid it's going to be like The Phantom Stranger, but
John
if it's,
Constantine might show up,
well,
or Team Seven,
I,
Team Seven.
well, stupid Amanda Waller mentioned Team 7 this week.
I want her to die. I want her to be the cause of Trinity.
But I'm pretty sure I don't like I mean, I don't dislike Batwing like I dislike Green Lantern Corps or something, but I do not care as much for the new Batwing as I did for the old Batwing, and they're taking him in a different direction than I expected, and I'm not enjoying that. And I think he should have been given a new name since it's a new costume and a new city. So he shouldn't just be Batwing, which is stupid to me. Detective Comics isn't the best of the. Oh no, Detective Comics is going. I was thinking of the Dark Knight.
All right.
But Detective Comics should be awesome. Dial H, of course, is the suck. But Earth 2, Earth 2 isn't getting World's Finest this next week?
Yeah, because remember, this isn't next week still June?
No.
Oh, are
No,
you sure you just missed it off of the list?
I must have.
Let me look. Oh, let me look while we wrap this up.
I don't have a link to go to a page 2 on the comics next week, so
Well, let's look at comics list. Let's see here. Wrap this up here. 7-3, which is 1 week up.
World's Finest is getting bumped a week.
Yeah, I just looked into next week, so yeah, it must
Yeah.
be. All right. Well, that's about it. What are you endorsing this week in your rage?
Oh man, I forgot about endorsing stuff.
Endorse something. We can't end this without your endorsement.
Have I endorsed Pepper Jack Cheez-Its yet?
I think that was last week you endorsed. Maybe. I don't know.
I think I did Candy Cane Kisses already.
It could be a non-food item.
It could be, but this is my computer chair. I've got snacks. I endorse new tires on my car, which make the ride much more comfortable. let
Oh,
me
you
tell
finally
ya.
bought the new tires?
I
Got rid of
finally,
your bump tire?
yeah, but it was like $400, and I didn't want to spend that much money, but
Dude, you should be able to get them cheaper than that.
I had to buy 4 tires.
No. What will I
You
endorse?
don't want to go much cheaper than that.
I bought
It was
mine
only-
for
it was
20 bucks
only-
a piece, so.
I bought mine for $85.50 a piece.
Bought mine for $20 a piece. They're
I
great.
got some 65,000 mile Goodyears because I've
Car
put
probably won't even last 65,000 miles more.
yeah, because that's like another 3 times 15 years, I think. I haven't put 20,000 miles on my car in 5 years, so
Really?
yeah, I don't go anywhere.
That's right, because you hate people.
It's like 6 miles to my job, so
It's true, and it's not like you like to. Yeah, well, you live in a rural area too, so it's not like there's a lot of cool things to go see.
I would drive less if I didn't live in a rural area. I wouldn't need
That's
to own
true.
a car.
It's true. That's true. If your job was closer,
I could take a bus.
it's true.
I hate driving, so,
Hmm.
Anyways, what do you endorse? What do you support?
What do I support? I support Minecraft 1.6,
Ah, yes, 1.6 came out this week, so
and I endorse Feed the Beast 1.6 whenever it gets its butt over here
soon.
soon. All right.
I'm
so
a little
that's about-
worried because the
Hmm?
all the texture packs haven't updated yet to the new resource packs, and I
Well,
want
it's
my
gonna take them a little time.
I don't know. Mojang released tools to do it. So, anyways, that's got nothing to do with comics. That's comments for another thing. So, I
I'd
guess
still endorse it.
so. Yeah. Like it if you like. Subscribe to be sure to catch the next one. And yeah, we might have some Minecraft related videos to link over here shortly.
Shortly.
We're gonna do the UHC thing.
Are we doing the UHC thing?
I think we are.
I guess I didn't know we were gonna videotape it.
I am.
Hmm. Well, go for it then. All right, that's it. With those cryptic comments, we are done.
I don't think there's a cryptic. Go check out Lax Lives. All one of you that watch this that already look at Lax Lives because I actually have viewers over there. Bye.
Woo! Bye.